Today, senators will get their second chance here with Brett Kavanaugh, who's been fielding, maybe unsurprisingly, supportive questions from Republicans and combative ones from Democrats. And on some key issues, particularly those related to presidential power and matters that might come up with the special counsel, it's what Kavanaugh didn't say that's making headlines.
After nearly 20 hours facing fire from Democrats, more of it today for Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh.
Judge Kavanaugh, that's not the question.
His opponents zeroing in on presidential power and its limits under the law.
Can a sitting president be required to respond to a subpoena?
I can't give you an answer on that hypothetical question.
On that clear reference to the special counsel who may try to force President Trump to answer questions, a deflection from Kavanaugh, and not the only one.
President Trump claims he has an absolute right to pardon himself, does he?
The question of self-pardons is something I've never analyzed.
I hope for the sake of the country that remains a hypothetical question.
Republican Senator Jeff Flake asked about the president's tweet this week, slamming his own Department of Justice.
Maintaining that strict independence of the judiciary requires me, I think, to avoid commenting on any current events.
The judge did say not even a president is above the law, promising to be independent from the man who nominated him. He told senators no one, including the president, extracted any promises about a key abortion rights ruling, Roe v. Wade, something Kavanaugh called settled law. The judge says he gets what's at stake.
I don't live in a bubble. I understand. I live in the real world. I understand the importance of the issue.
At the White House, praise from the president.
I watched today for a little while. I saw some incredible answers to very complex questions. He's an outstanding intellect. He's an outstanding judge. He was born for the position.
But protesters at the Capitol don't think so.
Democracy, not the mafia!
With a record number of interruptions at Kavanaugh's hearings, police even clearing the public seating section at one point.
So, Hallie, do you think his performance, Kavanaugh's performance, has helped him or hurt him when it comes to his chances of getting confirmed?
You know, Hoda, when you talk to people who are watching this, who are observing this, there's not a lot of people who think Kavanaugh hurt himself with this. Republicans in particular do not think Kavanaugh has made any serious missteps here. Now, you never want to make any predictions until all those votes are counted. But right now, barring any, wild surprises, it seems like this Kavanaugh confirmation vote will happen by the end of the month.
All right, Hallie Jackson. Hallie, thank you.